This is the second time President Obama has visited the city of Dallas, the first since his re-election. I'm about a quarter mile to where the West Texas fertilizer plant explosion happened on April 17th. As you can see behind me, the garage doors expanded out, which was one of the effects of the blast. 65 of the 223 Dallas Independent School District principals have been put on a growth plan. Here at Davis Hall is where UTA students go and pay their tuition every semester. But how will those without the right to reside in the United States be affected? Dr. Yen's research might help many detect cancer at an earlier stage. President Obama and the First Lady arrived in Dallas on April 24th. During his visit, he attended the George W. Bush Presidential Center inauguration at SMU. The president also visited the memorial for victims of the West Texas fertilizer plant explosion. The ceremony took place at Baylor University. This is the second time President Obama has visited the city of Dallas, the first since his re-election. For UTA News, I'm Annabelle Hernandez. President Obama has proposed to raise minimum wage from $7.25 to $9 per hour at a federal level. Several students expressed their approval.
I'm obviously happy that I'm going to get paid more, but I'm just afraid if the prices for other stuff would go up.
I mean, it would be extremely beneficial because I'm making minimum wage for my job and I only work on Saturday and Sunday, so that's $7.25. It's helpful, but it's not really enough. Like I said, as a college student.
Most students seem to be in favor of minimum wage being raised to $9, but what do the economists think?
Foreign static effect, as many people have shown, there's a little impact on the economy as a whole because many studies have shown that the higher adjustment of a minimum wage is not meaningfully related with any employment level at all.
Many have argued that an increase of wage could cause inflation. However, Dr. Toy doesn't think this would be the case.
The labor cost has a certain impact on the inflation as a whole, but it doesn't account for important factor of inflation. So I'm not much convinced that it will have certain impact on the inflation rate down the road.
The new minimum wage has still not come into effect. If it does, employers will be forced to pay their employees at least $9 per hour. Annabelle Hernandez, UTA News. The University of Texas at Arlington is part of the UT systems. Several of the universities under the UT system have raised tuition. UT Arlington voted against raising tuition for the next school year.
Originally, UT Arlington had already plans to not increase tuition for the 2013-2014 school year. In our original proposal to the UT system, we had asked for the authority to increase tuition if needed based on the outcome of the legislative session. However, it was our plan all along not to increase tuition for undergraduate students for 2013-14.
With a faltering economy and the gas prices through the roofs, the news of tuition not increasing came as a godsend for the UTA Mavericks. UT Arlington is a commuter university, so the gas price increase may affect those who do not live nearby. By tuition not increasing will also help many stay in school.
I think it could be a good thing for the student body just because UTA is becoming a Tier 1 school, so with tuition being the same, it'll give more students a chance to come and get a higher education.
I think it's a good thing, not increasing, because, the campus is obviously changing, and there have been a lot of major changes on campus itself that not a lot of students and faculty are happy with. So that's just one less thing we got to worry about.
What it means for me is that more students are able to go to school and more people are going to be educated as a result.
For UTA News, I'm Annabelle Hernandez. According to Texas Law 1403, any student who graduates from a state high school or receives their GED are considered state residents despite their immigration status. Currently, two bills in the Texas legislature, SB 437 and HB 122, wish to change that. Tuition for a state resident at UTA is around $4,500 and $9,000 for foreign students. UNT's tuitions are similar to those of UTA. Tuition for a resident at UT Austin is also similar to UTA. However, a foreign student would pay $17,000. Tuition at community colleges are much cheaper for county residents, yet tuition for an international student is almost triple the amount of DCCD's resident tuition of $650. For foreigners, it would be $1,800. Tuition for county residents of TCC is the same as Dallas, yet $2,500 for foreign students. Here at Davis Hall is where UTA students go and pay their tuition every semester. But how will those without the right to reside in the United States be affected? According to PolitiFact Texas, 16,700 undocumented students received in-state tuition in 2010. Currently, there are 470 undocumented students at UT Arlington. A bioengineering professor received $1 million for his research on a device that can detect cancer tens of millimeters below the skin.
The goal for this research is trying to develop imaging methods based on ultrasound and optical method. The goal is trying to image deep tissue with high resolution.
The methods he used for his research proved to be vital for the success of his study.
In order to solve this problem, we did some mathematical simulations, and the result looks pretty good.
Dr. Yun's research might help many detect cancer at an earlier stage.
I think research is important when people really understand what's the cancer mechanism and what could be the potential solutions, and I think that will give some kind of way to reduce the cancer death rate.
For UTA News, I'm Annabelle Hernandez. Technologique is different than other stations. Listeners basically make up the playlist as their requests are taken seriously.
Shout outs in the next shout out session I'm about to give out. I allow requests and shout outs the entire show. I've had plenty of shows where it's just requests. It's just other people's requests and stuff. So I just have fun with it. And a lot of songs I haven't even heard and I mix for the first time without even hearing the songs.
UTA Radio has a variety of different shows ranging from politic talk, sports talk, indie rock, alternative rock. However, Technologique falls into a category of its own. Electronic stations are a bit uncommon in the Metroplex, which is why Siam adds his own twist by creating his own mixes.
A lot of them are remixes from other people, but a couple I've made my own mixes, yeah. I've dropped my own mixes here and there, yeah. It's kind of self-promotion, selfless plug, but it's fun, yeah.
Other UTA radio hosts also enjoy Siam's creative skills.
I do. I really like what he does, matching up live recording.
Tune in Wednesdays from 3 to 5 p.m. only at UTARadio.com.
For UTA News, I'm Annabelle Hernandez.